Pete, a victory by an innings and 36 runs in the end, all wrapped up very quickly within a session or so. How satisfying is that?
It's a great win because we played such good cricket for the whole of the game, really. And it carries on where we left off. We've always had a break of 3 weeks for T20, but to come back and play the same style, where I think the bowlers take a lot of credit of being sort of pretty relentless in how they kept pressure on the Derby batsmen, and then we managed to get ourselves up to 300. So it was a really good performance all round.
Yeah, just on that, it has been a couple of weeks off. How sort of impressed are you with the way that they were able to tune back into red ball cricket? Obviously, but batters going about their game in a slightly different way, bowlers maybe honing on a slightly different deliveries. How pleased were you with the way they went about their business?
Yeah, we did well. I mean, we finished, I think it was on Friday night at Edgbaston, didn't get back till late, and to be credit to the lads, we were all in here at 9 o'clock the next morning, getting ourselves ready, talking about how we wanted to play, reminding ourselves a little bit, Kunal Manik is sort of our man who shows the footage and all that and how we go about it. So, we went through a meeting, got all that plans together, and then it's easy talking about it, but delivering it is the tricky bit. And to be fair to the bowlers, set us off. Good toss to win, if I'm honest. We bowled well, we kept them under pressure. And I think that pressure told over a period of time. So, 150 was a fantastic effort by the lads to bowl them out for that. And then really, I think Ben Duckett played beautifully all the way through it, and made partnerships with different people along the way. Hassie's really found some real form as well at the top end. So great to see us get 300 and go on and get that win.
Yeah, you touched on a couple of individual performances there, and we will go into them in slightly more detail. We'll start with Hass, who I think has played one innings before this one since the Edgbaston game. It almost felt like he'd never been away at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, Hass is probably one of the best I've seen him play, actually. Very fluent, picked length really well, and played and hit to his areas. It wasn't easy, actually, the pitch. I thought Finn Hudson-Prentice bowled really well, as did Cohen, actually. Without much luck first time, but bowled a very good second spell. So it wasn't easy, and he played really well. And you could see by how the dismissals came, there were some good balls that got people out eventually. So you had to play well. I say Hass started off, and then I say Ben Duckett also played, as well as I've seen him play.
Yeah, it's like playing in a slightly different position owing to the fact that he had the gloves. It was, I suppose, quite important as well that he came in with a bit of impetus and a bit of positivity, given the situation of the game when he came into the crease.
It's the way Ben wants to play. I mean, which is one of his great strengths. He wants to move the game forward. So, I think it worked really well with him keeping to give it a little bit of time in between that and getting ready to play. And you're right, it was a good injection. I think he got the tempo just right. This game started really well. Got through a couple of tough spells, and then the spinners came on and he managed to work them round and then keep ticking over. And he was set fair really for what would have been a fantastic 100, I think, But then, if you're not going to be able to carry on and get 100, what's the next best thing? Well, probably better than that is to get a call up for England. So, it's a huge congrats to Ben and to Jake Ball for that.
And I feel like we're almost running out of superlatives for Luke Fletcher, who was outstanding once again with his partner in crime, Dane Patterson, who really steamed in for Nottinghamshire today and looked impressive again.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Fletcher's got the 5 wickets and bowled beautifully. He's bowled beautifully all season. But, yeah, it's worth a special mention for Dane, I think. Dane opened the game up, really. Got the two left-handers, Deploy and Louis Rees, of tough people to get past, actually. He bowled a fantastic spell. He bowled a fantastic spell yesterday, actually, towards the end of the first innings. He's had a bit of a back niggle, so he's been off bowling for 10 days before this game, so he's done well to come back. I thought he got, first spell was a bit rusty. Second spell really got into his work, and then the second innings here, I thought he bowled really, really well. As did all the bowlers. Mentioned people like Joey Everson coming in, came in and did a fantastic job.
Yeah, you mentioned Joey and a couple of youngsters coming into this side, him and Dane Shadendorf as well coming in at the last minute. They seem to fit into the side almost seamlessly at relatively short notice as it happened.
Well, credit to both of them, really. I mean, Joey's been a bit unlucky not to get in the side. He's a fine player, good young player, and the fact that people have played so well has made it tough for him, but he's performed really well in the twos. And for Dane, what a special day. Suddenly, you think you're going to be playing across the road at Lady Bay, and suddenly you get the call up, you come in. One, he batted beautifully, very calm, built a great partnership with Brett Hutt and then Luke Fletcher to get us that extra batting point. And I thought he kept beautifully, actually. And it's a pitch where you're going to get in the game as a keeper, so there's a bit of pressure on. He took his catches well, generally looked really calm, so he'll take a lot from the game, I think.
And two potentially crucial games in the context of the season coming up. Firstly, the T20 game against Yorkshire, which could dictate if you get a home quarter-final, and then the Durham game as well, which obviously dictates which group you may go into. So how important are they coming up, and what's your approach to those games going to be?
Yeah, well, the Yorkshire game first. I mean, that's a huge game at home. I mean, say if we win that, we'd have a great chance of a home quarter, and that'll be a tough game. There's no doubt about that. Yorkshire, it's always a tough game against them. We've got a great record at home as well over the last couple of years, so we want to keep that. So we'll be hugely up for that. We've got some, we've had some issues to get through, and that's been one of the pleasing things, how people have stepped up and come in. So we'll get ready for that. The lads get a day off, and then we'll scrub up for that on Thursday, get ready for Friday. And Durham will be, it's going to be a huge game, fantastic game to play. And I don't think the lads will have to approach it any different. They've approached every game, I think, with the same mentality that it's a huge game for them, because there's a real passion to try and get in that top conference. We'll do everything we can to do that, but certainly Durham will be also doing the same, so it should be a great scrap.